What's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to an advanced review for West of Sundown number 1. This is a book that we have been anticipating for quite some time now. It's another Vault heater, man. You know we're big fans of Vault comics here on the House of Nerds show. So we were lucky enough to get an early copy of West of Sundown. So we're here. We're gonna hit you with the review. Hopefully, we won't keep you guys too long. West of Sundown, written by Tim Seeley and Aaron Campbell. Art courtesy of Jim Terry. The colorist is Triona Farrell, and lettered by Crank. Crank. Give it to me one time, guy. Ruben, Al, can you say that? Crank with an exclamation.
Crank?
Crank.
There you go. There you go.
Crank.
And great lettering. We're gonna get into that shortly. And then designed by Tim Daniels. Yeah, we're here to talk West of Sundown. Al, this is one in particular. You know, I know you've been really anticipating, raving. Big fans of the creative team on this. What is West of Sundown about? And what are your thoughts on this book?
Well, per preview synopsis,
Oh,
a, beau- a beautiful vampire must flee monster slayers in New York City and reclaim the ancestral soil that restores her undead flesh. But the world has changed since she was reborn in the New Mexico desert, and now Constance der Abend, is that how you would pronounce it, guys?
Constance
Constance der Abend,
der
and her loyal assistant Dooley
Dooley. That's a tricky one.
must adapt to life in the rough frontier town where all sorts of monsters have settled. A Western tale of survival starring a cast of literary horrors from the diabolical minds of Tim Seeley, Aaron Campbell, and Jim Terry.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
What was the name of that town? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay then.
you got it.
Okay.
Did you get that?
I did not, man.
I'm gonna edit in me saying it right.
Wow. Please do. I feel like that's critical.
In a really deep voice.
Oh, man. If I had
So
it in
this
front of
is
me,
basically like Vault's take on like the Hammer films and like Universal more recently with the different cast of monsters from literary works and from urban lore. So you have like Frankenstein's monster, Count Dracula, mummies. The cover for issue 2 kind of teases the Bell Witch. So it's just you told me you guys didn't like this word, a hodgepodge of different horror icons.
hodgepodge of
It's
different
vaults,
horror icons.
vaults tipping of their hat in a Western setting.
Yeah.
But it's not an anthology, though, right?
No,
Okay.
no. But I do believe that if the covers are revealing anything, maybe each issue will focus, like they're the main characters, I guess. Dooley and Constance, and then I kind of feel like that's the direction it was going. Like they're encountering these things as she tries to regain her powers in her, because things are changing,
Hey,
right?
buddy, what are your thoughts on West of Sundown #1?
Well, right off the bat, I'll say I'm really not a vampire guy. Like, that genre just never really got me. But I really dig this. I like what the approach to it. Just what I find most fascinating is the relationship between her and Dooley. Like the dynamic about how, like, are they both serving each other? Are they both not serving each other? It's just like interesting how they're both catering to each other's lives, and how like Dooley, for reasons, he'll do whatever for her. Like, and she's essentially a monster, but for the most part, he's safe from her. But I feel like there's a whole lot to explore. I'm excited for just seeing this relationship that is like, I like the idea of like relationships between a man and a woman character. there's like no romance,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like inseparable, like attached to the hip, and they just so much goes into the relationship besides romance. I find that super cool.
It's funny because she's a vampire, but in a lot of ways, Dooley is Duraben's protector, really, right?
Mm-hmm. Her
He's got to
caregiver.
protect her
Mm-hmm.
during the travels westward, right there in this first issue. This is very much I'd say setting up the series, the story, right? Uh, so they're
Mm-hmm.
traveling westward. The 90-day nautical voyage, from New York City all the way to LA. They're going around the Americas, right? I guess
Oh, now when you say it like that, because I was like, how do you take a boat from there to there? But then you gotta,
yeah, you go travel, and I feel like we might maybe we can throw up that screener there, Al,
mm-hmm.
a visual aid, if you will. There you go. There
It
you
just
have it,
seems
folks.
like a real roundabout way of getting
It
from
was
point
it was
A to point B.
before the Panama Canals, ma'am. Learn your history. Learn your history.
Don't
Come on
know
now.
history.
Before the Panama Canals. So we were debating this. I believe it's set during the American Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that era, right? The Wild West era, uh, pre-Panama Canal days for UL.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to go around.
So you're saying that the Panama Canal is man-made?
So, I mean, do I have to explain that to you?
I'm gonna be real
I
with you
hope.
guys. I did not pay attention much
Oh,
in history class.
okay. Well, okay. I don't even know what to say to that
I'm
one.
about to Google it because
Nor
I
any
have
other classes,
never.
I'm sure.
The Panama Canal is man-made.
Okay.
So now do modern technology. We can cut through right there. That little right where Central America meets South America.
Well, you look at
Uh,
that in the first sentence. The Panama Canal is an artificial waterway.
there you go. There you go,
The
folks.
more you know.
You're getting reviews here and history lessons on the House of Nerd show.
Hmm.
What more do you want? But yeah, so to your point, Ruben, yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic and relationship. Um, you
But
know,
there's trust there too, which is most important because even when she's in like bloodlust, she doesn't ever attack him.
mhm,
Yeah,
And she kind of mentions it in this scene, like, if I get too hungry, I'm gonna be all up in it. But I don't think she meant it. Like, I think it was like just something to say between friends.
mm,
And even symbiotic. No, it's not symbiotic.
I think so.
yeah, I would say symbiotic.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they kind of feed off of each other.
Yep, that's
It's
fair.
not one sided. They need each other.
Yeah,
But
And he kind of even he compromises his own morals at one point, or the morals he thinks are moral, to help her when he goes into the town to find her something to snack on. But also, like, I think she respects that of him by only going after certain people. Like, I think she kind of had to adapt to that in order for their relationship to work. Like, they have to have that trust. And
yeah.
if you're just, going after whoever, then it's like, how can I trust that you're not going to turn on me at some point?
Hmm.
Because he doesn't
right,
think he's a bad person.
I think the interesting thing about Dooley is there's that internal struggle for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to justify his actions, right? By saying so he's serving up his master, right?
Mm-hmm.
The vampirist. They're a band. I hope we're pronouncing that right. Uh, you know, these ne'er do wells to feed on, right? So I think he's got that struggle of, well, this is going against kind of my code and my beliefs, my morals. He's Catholic, Irish Catholic, uh, but he's saying, well, these are crappy people, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are like people who kind of prey on others. So he's justifying it in that way. But for sure, he's got that struggle, man. He's going back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That very interesting character dynamic between the two, and just with Dooley himself. Yeah.
And I think that's a theme that's prevalent throughout, because later on she kind of mentions like, well, who are the good guys and who are the bad guys here? Like they haven't established that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, but they still kind of lean towards traditionally upright actions and beliefs in what they do.
Well, one of the things that, I think it's said a couple times in the book is it's a relatively new country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Birth
Hmm.
of a nation, man. Who are the villains? Who are the angels? Who are the monsters? Right? Who are the devils? Kind of deal, and kind of getting the feeling this story is kind of, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get like deep into that, and they're touching on that in issue one. It's cool stuff so far. It's cool stuff.
Definitely, yeah. I was just gonna say, I feel like this kind of art, the approach to this pencils is it's kind of new to like a lot of the books that we've been seeing a lot lately, and I'm just hooked on it. Like I'm kind of these horror books we've been getting. I want them to stay with this aesthetic. Of course, um, won't always be like that, but I adore what this is. I really enjoyed this with the rain. I felt like the
Mm-hmm.
rain art right there just kind of added more icing onto the cake with the what was happening in here between the dialogue and the exchange. I thought that was super cool.
So in terms of the art, it's kind of bleak. It's almost like a bleak looking
Mm-hmm.
book in terms of like the color palette,
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of places is muted, the grays, and which is very fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, there are certain the uses of the more vivid colors in certain
Mm-hmm. Oh
places
yeah,
in the
that's
book. Really, just
yeah.
it gives you that pop, that punch, right? Like, there you go, right?
I had to include some fang porn in this because
Hey,
I love a good set of fangs, and I feel like they really nailed it with Constance.
it's great. It's great. Like the uses of red in the whether it's in the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or blood, the attacks, or even I like the use of red in Duraben's like clothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
really kind of lends itself to the mistress vibe that she has going on, right?
And
Uh,
also like like when you see it now, you're gonna think of her. Like that's her color.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, so the color palette throughout, and then the the specific uses of the more vivid, just kind of reds, and just to it really makes things pop. It's very well drawn. Great coloring by Triona Farrell there.
So I did some more reading, and it Julie and Constance are the main characters. So it's gonna be like them traversing New Mexico desert while
Mhm.
encountering hunters and other literary icons.
So overall, what are your thoughts, guys, on this book? Is this a cop? Is it a drop?
It's definitely a cop for me. Like
Oh,
it's a cop for me. Definitely, whenever I can say that I'm not usually into vampire genre material, but I really like this. I really like the approach to it, the dynamic between her and Dooley, and just it's also a cop in the sense that I really want to know what happens next. And to me, that's a great first issue. And just where the journey's going to take them, their quest to find her power. I'm really intrigued by this.
oh, for sure.
And who deserves redemption and who doesn't. Because there's characters in here that are like of you know they're the let's just say the opposition to her doesn't want the undead walking, but
Mm.
when you're using tools that are of the undead too, it's kind of contradictory. So they're kind of everybody's kind of making up their own rules, and everybody kind of feels righteous in their actions. So it's going to be interesting to see it play out, because are they the true protagonists or not?
Making up their
Yeah.
own rules in a new world, in a lawless country, right? The
Mhm.
West, that time period. I think it's great. It's a dope setup issue. Great pacing. Um, almost got it's almost got like a poetic feel to
Yeah,
the reading,
Mm-hmm.
I could see
uh,
that.
you know, and yeah, just don't pace. Moody, moody.
Definitely these
What's the word
covers.
I'm looking for? Yeah,
Well, like you said, it's bleak.
bleak is a
It's
good one. Yeah,
it's
for
On
sure.
fleek.
there's one that starts with an M. Morose.
Morose? Oh, I'm not that smart.
Is that a word?
Yeah, but leave that in there. Morose.
Hey, future owl, look that up before you leave it in.
Oh man, we Google
It's
morose.
melancholic.
Melancholy. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah. It
yeah.
has like a sadness about it. She every time she builds up a home, it gets taken from her.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
her
That's
strength
a good
lies
point.
in her roots, and I think she was able to stay away from New Mexico for so long because she had her coffin and the house. It was her home. She was able to make that her home.
Hmm.
And so to have that taken from her, and now she has to go back to somewhere she left for a reason.
Yep.
Going back home sometimes isn't the best thing. So curious to see if we're gonna get her origin story.
Very much looking forward to issue number 2. Issue number 1, though, dropping this Wednesday, April 6th, available at comic shops everywhere, folks. And take
Pick
a
it up.
look at these variant covers. Wow. Ruben, do you have a favorite?
I like the one with the silhouette of the monster right there on the right.
That's pretty
Tim
cool.
Daniel.
I love because there's a lot going on there. The sun, you got her within the silhouette, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also like, wow, we don't know who this guy is, this creature, so we can't wait to see.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So if I can find this, I would love to have that cover.
Okay.
It's a
Favorite?
1 in 25.
It is a 1 in 25.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. It's doable.
Do I have a favorite?
Yeah.
I do believe I do.
Which one would that?
The Suspiria.
Ooh, that is so. Honestly, I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to. I'm riding with you on this one. This is my favorite too. Oh, just it's a fantastic cover.
Reminds me of Vampirella.
She does a lot of Vampirella work.
Oh, really?
A,
That's
a
cool.
lot of original art.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a great one, and I think this is a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 15. I could be
I
mistaken,
think
but
it's 1 in 20. Yeah, it's a 1 in 10.
there you go.
For which I thought this was a 1 in 25, but
That looks like 1 in 25 worthy.
the Francavilla one is 1 in 75.
Man, they got some amazing artists
The
on
one on the right,
variant covers. Even the A cover is
and
great.
Campbell's
Campbell's A
fantastic.
cover.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, folks.
The one for number 2, which I don't have a picture of, but
Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these covers. I'm gonna try to get my hands on
Oh
them.
yeah, I agree.
though.
All the covers are great.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, I'm a sucker for this one here on the left. I just love the movie theater poster, old fashioned
Right, so
aesthetic.
all the A covers are like that. So
That's great.
there's a
That's
lot.
cool.
There's a couple that they have posted that they're looking fantastic.
Oh yeah. West of Sundown, number 1, dropping this Wednesday, April the 6th, folks. There's no way I'm gonna miss this one. A must cop, yeah? Would you guys agree?
Must
Yeah.
cop,
Yes.
hard cop.
Another heater from Vault Comics, again written by Aaron Campbell, Tim Seeley, art courtesy of Jim Terry, colors Triona Farrell. Frank, shout out to the whole creative team. Great stuff. We're looking forward to picking up physical copies of this and to issue 2 and more. If you guys enjoyed this review, please hit that like button and let us know. Let us know once you pick up your copies. Hit us up in the comments section of this video and let us know what you think about the book, man. Hoping you guys dig it as much as we do. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the House of Nerd Show for the advanced review of West of Sundown number 1. Ruben, you can let the audience know. Have a good day, guys. Okay.
Peace. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye now.